Some people still don't know how to speed flip in 2024, so today I'm going to show everyone how to speed flip really easily in just a few simple steps. Speed flipping is the fastest way to flip in Rocket League, and is why pros such as Zen are so quick to the ball and able to move around the field efficiently. But before we learn how to speed flip, we need to learn a few basic maneuvers first. First, you need to know how to flip. As dumb as this sounds, you need to be able to diagonal flip a certain way consistently in order to speed flip. If you look on the screen now and look at my controller overlay in the bottom right, you will see the angle I am flipping at on my joystick in order to prepare for the speed flip. The angle is about 15 to 20 degrees to the left or right, whichever direction you prefer, it doesn't matter. I'll have a visual on the screen as well, but this angle can also be seen as 11 or 1 if you're looking at a clock. Once you are confident in your ability to consistently flip at this angle, we can move on to step 2. Step 2 is a flip cancel. If you have never seen or heard of a flip cancel before, it's a pretty simple concept and fairly straightforward once you practice it a bit. A flip cancel is when you cancel your flip animation by pulling in the opposite direction of which you flipped. So for example, if you front flip and then instantly pull back on the joystick, your car will do something like this. You can practice flip cancels with front flips pretty easily. The second you flip, you need to instantly pull down on your joystick and you'll feel and see your car's animation get stopped. Remember, once you flip, instantly pull down and cancel. Step 3 is doing the diagonal flip I just showed you in step 1 and canceling it. This part is the trickiest part of the speed flip and it requires quick timing and the right joystick placement. Recall the 15 to 20 degrees to the left or right that I mentioned, or the 11 and 1 clock positions, because you need to really make sure you are getting that first part of the diagonal flip down. Speaking of down, remember the second you flip to cancel by pulling down. Once again, look at my controller overlay if you need any visuals at any point during this video. When you put it all together, it'll look something like this, and if your car is moving just like it is in this clip above, you are almost done to completing the speed flip. One small thing that I want to mention, you may notice at the end of my speed flip, I'm moving my joystick a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right after the flip cancel. The reason I do this is it's habitual to me using normal air roll, which I'm going to show you in this next step, because after you do this part of the speed flip, you have to air roll to correct your wheels, and we're going to explain that more in depth right now. Step 4 is using air roll to finish your car's rotation. A proper speed flip will have your car just almost all the way rotated, but you will need to use just a little bit of air roll to correct your car's landing. Personally, I use normal air roll, so you will see me pressing L1 and moving my joystick to properly rotate my car with the binds that I have. That small movement that I was talking about earlier in the tutorial, you can now see when I'm pressing the air roll button, that small movement is actually what corrects my car over. So you can do this movement in that third step I was showing before, and it doesn't really matter too much. But using that air roll at the very end to correct it is that slight motion of me tugging to the left or tugging to the right just a little bit, and you'll see here when I zoom in. If you use air roll left or right, that's no issue at all. Just make sure you are getting your wheels level by slightly using air roll to correct your spin. If I'm not mistaken, I think it might be slightly easier using a directional, but all speed flips are the same, and if you do it right, it's going to be the same speed either way, so it doesn't really matter if you use normal or directional air roll. But if you're able to put all 4 of those steps together, congrats, you can finally do the speed flip. But let's make sure you can actually do it and it doesn't just look like that, right? I have 2 training packs that I'm going to show you guys that'll really tell if you can speed flip or not. The first training pack's going to be really easy, that hopefully you can do. The second one's going to be a little bit harder, but I'm going to show you some tips and tricks that I learned. I'm also going to do both of these training packs, speed flipping left and speed flipping right, showing you that you can do it both ways, it doesn't matter. So the training pack we're going to be doing today is actually the Link Crew Challenge, if you guys remember that, but specifically shot number 30 in this training pack. I'll have the code up on screen and I'll also have it in the description if you want to copy paste it, but this challenge is very simple. You'll notice the ball is across the field, and as I'm front flipping trying to get to this ball, you'll notice it seems almost impossible to reach. You can be boosting the whole time, you can try to get to this ball any way that you want, but the only way you'll actually be able to reach this ball is if you speed flip. So you'll notice here, I'll start doing it to the left, and then on this next attempt, I'll do it to the right. But you have to speed flip in order to reach this ball. And it's very simple because you'll know when you're doing it right as long as you're able to hit this ball. So if you're able to hit this ball on any of your attempts, you are doing the basic and easiest part of the speed flip. You're doing a very simple and easy speed flip. Training pack is going to be a lot easier than the other one that we're going to do later in this video, but make sure you're getting pretty consistent at hitting this ball back and forth, and once you're able to consistently hit this ball back and forth, you'll know that you're doing at least the easiest part of it. So this next one's going to be intermediate and honestly more hard, but we're going to be trying to master this next training pack next. So this next training pack is actually the Musty speed flip kickoff test, and you've probably seen this one before. Once again, I'll have the code up on the screen. I'll also have it in the description, but this training pack is a lot more difficult than the one that we just tried. So if you cannot do the first one, don't even try to do this one. Make sure you can do the first one before we go into this one. So for this training pack, one tip that I definitely recommend is try speed flipping a lot earlier than you think. A lot of people try and drive and center themselves really hard and then try and speed flip, but you really want to make sure you're flipping early to give your car as much time to really like line up and get that early speed off that speed flip to properly reach this ball. One thing you may also notice is I'm making slight turns to the right or left before I actually end up doing the speed flip. Since the speed flip is a diagonal front flip, there is a slight offset. If you are looking straight ahead and then flip to the right, your car will go a little bit to the right. So what I end up doing is I'll do a slight turn to the left, and then I'll flip right, which in turn kind of counteracts where the flip places you. So the turning isn't really a part of the speed flip, but it's how I'm getting to this ball, and it's how I'm lining myself up center. So you'll see that in a few of these examples. Some are more exaggerated than others, but if you ever see me driving a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left before I flip, that's just so I can correct the actual like movement and landing of the flip itself. So just keep that in mind. I also want to mention, on this specific speed flip test, this Musty one right here, you are not going to get it 100% of the time. You'll see even in this video that I fail, I mess up. So if you're struggling on this, that is okay. That is part of the learning process. Just know it is possible, and this is the absolute best and most efficient speed flip you can be doing. So if you're able to do this specific test, then you no longer need to watch this video. But yeah, that's going to be the tutorial today, guys. If you want a kickoff tutorial, like you see this kickoff here where I win it nicely and then get the nice solo play. If you want a kickoff tutorial as well as an updated Zap Dash tutorial for 2024 heading into the 2025 year, let me know down in the comments. I'm looking forward to posting new tutorials that you guys have been enjoying. So please let me know what mechanic you want to see next down below. And yeah, seriously, thank you guys so much for all the support. We're about to hit 30K subs. You know, we're trying to aim for 100K, you know the goal. So make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Check out my links in the description. If you want pro coaching, that's also in the description. Join my Discord. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Thank you so much for watching.